Rameshwaram sits at the southern edge of the Indian subcontinent, marking one of the four sacred pillars of Hindu pilgrimage. Here, the landscape preserves a series of physical anomalies where ancient traditions and modern science are forced into a direct confrontation. This map traces the path of Lord Ram's 14-year exile. His journey reached its limit at the very tip of the subcontinent, where the ocean separated his army from the shores of Lanka. Before launching an invasion to rescue goddess Sita, Hindu tradition required Ram to perform a complex puja to Lord Shiva. A ritual of this significance demanded a master scholar, a priest of the highest order, to officiate. Curious, Ram looked across the water to his ultimate enemy, the demon king Ravana. Despite the coming war, Ravana was a peerless scholar of the Vedas and a devoted follower of Shiva, making him the most qualified candidate to lead the ceremony. This initial phase of the conflict for Lanka was defined by an active scholarly collaboration between the two greatest adversaries of the Treta Yuga. As the time for the ritual approached, the pressure of the muhurat, the auspicious window, began to close. Lord Hanuman had been sent to Mount Kailash to fetch a divine Shivling, but he had yet to return. To ensure the ceremony happened on schedule, goddess Sita gathered sand from the shoreline and sculpted a Shivling by hand. When Hanuman finally arrived with a stone idol from the north, Ram integrated both into the temple's lineage. This diagram shows the Ramlingam, made of sand, alongside the Vishwalingam, brought from the Himalayas. To honor Hanuman's effort, Ram established a specific order of worship that remains in place today. Devotees must visit the Vishwalingam before they are permitted to see the Ramlingam. While these spiritual lineages have been maintained for centuries, the physical environment of the island presents a different set of challenges, realities that seem to bypass the standard rules of geology. Stretching 48 kilometers toward Sri Lanka is the Ram Setu, or Adam's Bridge. Ancient texts describe it as a massive construction project completed by Ram's army in only 5 days. Modern geological analysis shown here provides a breakdown of the bridge's composition, and the data reveals a significant chronological contradiction. The stones on the surface are dated to 7,000 years ago, yet they rest on a bed of sand that is only 4,000 years old. This inversion, older materials sitting atop younger layers, is a layout that suggests the rocks were deliberately transported and placed there. Within the structure are stones that remain buoyant on the water's surface. A common scientific theory suggests these are pieces of pumice, volcanic rocks containing trapped gas. However, the pumice theory faces two problems. Pumice typically absorbs water and sinks over time, and Rameshwaram has no volcanic activity within thousands of miles to provide such a massive volume of stone. Science can confirm that the bridge is an artificial arrangement, but it lacks a clear explanation for the source of the materials or their sustained buoyancy. Following the war, Ram sought to cleanse himself of the sin of Brahmahatya. To provide water for the purification rites, he is said to have shot arrows into the earth, creating 22 sacred wells, or tirthams. These wells are located only feet away from the salt-heavy ocean, yet every one of them contains sweet water. Remarkably, each of the 22 sources possesses a unique taste and a different set of mineral properties. The island also guards the Mani Darshan, seen here in the right panel, a sacred sphatic crystal worshipped before dawn for its intense spiritual energy. On the left, Gandhamadan Parvat preserves stone footprints, marking where Hanuman gathered strength to leap across the sea. From the chemistry of the water to the carvings in the stone, the geography of Rameshwaram seems to have been shaped to preserve the evidence of its ancient history. Centuries after these early events, between the 12th and 17th centuries, the Setupati kings began the construction of the massive stone temple complex that stands today. This project resulted in the longest temple corridor in existence, supported by thousands of expertly carved stone pillars. This creates a logistical problem. Rameshwaram is a flat island composed mostly of sand and silt. It possesses no mountains and no natural stone quarries. Millions of tons of quarried stone from the mainland were shipped across turbulent waters on wooden transport vessels to reach the construction site. The temple itself serves as proof of a massive engineering feat, a stone megalith standing on a terrain where no such stone naturally exists. Rameshwaram remains a location that resists a single, simple explanation. It is a site where an enemy was invited to serve as a priest, where 7,000-year-old rocks float without a local volcano, and where fresh water wells emerge from salt-soaked earth. In this place, science and faith provide two different lenses for the same reality. Science can document the age of the materials and the layout of the land, while faith provides the narrative that accounts for how these anomalies came to be. Focus on complete details of Rameshwaram. Collected, created, and presented by Pawan Thakur, Thakur Property Consultancy.